I seen a post on Reddit the other day that said kids will never know the excitement and joy of getting this envelope back, and I call BS on that because film is got a small, slight resurgence again, and maybe it's just a fad, maybe it's just a trend, maybe it'll go away, but for the time being, people are playing with film again. This is the return of my expired Fuji 800 32 millimeter film. I believe it expired, or at least was stopped producing around 2008 to 2010. Could be older than that. I'm not sure when this film was produced. There was no date on it, and they haven't made it in quite some years. So I knew it was expired. I should have shot it at what they say. I should have pushed it to 1.5 stops, which means just overexpose it, because this film, with being expired, isn't going to develop like, this kind of like an unexpired new film will. And that's my fault. And I also just kind of wanted to experiment and see what they'd look like shot normally, because you don't really understand until you experiment. And once you see what you've done, you kind of know how to go forward with things. So here we have a roll. We have a ginormous stack of pictures that are just pictures to me. Like, they didn't turn out great, or they didn't move me after I saw them on print or anything like that. They just kind of exist as pictures. They're not necessarily bad, but they're not necessarily good. The stack here is just kind of pictures I like, but I don't love. They're good pictures, but they're not something I want to hang up or share necessarily with the world. And then we have this stack right here, which is much smaller than the other two, which are photos I really do like. They're not necessarily great photos, but they're moody, or they remind me of something, or whatever. So they stick around. Like I said, they're not all the best shots, but they're good enough that I like to keep them in their own pile. So we've got the great, the good, the stack, and we have a whole new set of film to go through. Now, I've already gone through these and picked out my favorites and such, and I've even edited a few on the computer, and I will throw those up as well in this video, but just a quick run through because I've already gone through them. This one, I'm just going to throw that away, because that was just a pop it off, advance the film kind of shot. Again, another one that was just kind of pop it off. And then I was just trying to play to see if I could be steady enough to make a nice blurry image. Didn't go well. Too dark for underexposed film. I shot it at speed and, well, just too dark. Nope, nothing really there. Kind of a look of a liminal space in a sense, which is kind of a trend right now as well. But not great, but not off, but not bad. So it'll go in the spot. I think I could do some playing around on the computer with this one to make it look better, but as it is, not great. Kind of funny. She was celebrating a little early on the 2026. It was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening when she was out. She was getting her party started early. But not a great picture. These ladies had to walk a little too fast for my shutter and blurred it. We almost had a cool street art picture, but yep, not that time. Yep, just one of those times where the photographer's eye was not the same as the camera's eye. Yep, blew that. And some more problems with old film and lighting. It just doesn't like dark stuff. And I now know this for next time. If I buy more expired film, I know definitely advance your stuff. This one turned out okay, but it's not great. This is a brewery for bourbon, I guess a distillery for bourbon. Again, another distillery. I think this is Old Crow or something like that. Or no, it's Knob Creek. This is the Knob Creek Distillery. And I love going by the buildings and looking down into the little valley they sit, because it does kind of look like a ghost town. And there's like all this weird char black stuff on all the whitish or grayish buildings. And yeah, again, another shot that could have been better, but the photographer was an idiot. Hey, look, even more shots of the photographer being an idiot. And I think the dumb photographer's got the whole stack upside down. Let's turn it this way. Yeah, another one, kind of crap. Man, my kind of crap pile's getting way bigger. Kind of crap. Kind of crap. Now, the company in which I send my photos off to when I need convenience likes to put these in here. These like inspection cards when they find issues with your prints. And I knew that this was going to come back regardless because of the expired film. But they do give you a little heads up, so maybe next time your photos don't suck. Now we get into my favorites. And I'm going to just kind of scroll through these but on here, but I'm going to put them up on the screen as well. Citroen DS21. I really want one of these cars. I think they're beautiful. Just some advertising. I'm not a big McLaren fan, but it's a good picture, so it'll go in there. These go into my favorites, by the way, except for the McLaren. Just a guy chilling out, contemplating life, and somebody who was partying and left their shoes behind. And then this one, it's somewhere in between these two. I think if I edited it, it could be cool, or if I shot it in black and white, it'd be even cooler. But yeah, I do like it. So I'm gonna pop those up on the screen, or I already did. I don't know, how do I edit this? But yeah, I absolutely love film, and today was a great reminder of why I love film, because when I got when I scrolled through 4 or 5 of these and was just like this one, like it made me feel emotion, and I never really felt that looking at my digital photos all the time. I feel more emotion looking at analog pictures, and it's weird, but I do. And maybe it's just because I am kind of going backwards in time, and I'm kind of resetting in my life, and simplifying things, and not being completely digital and connected to everything. Maybe that's part of it, but I can't suggest enough to go out and buy a cheap analog camera, even if it's just a point and shoot, cheap plastic crap. You know, buy some Fuji 400 film, readily available, not terribly expensive. A lot of this is shot on Fuji 400. You know, that's Fuji 400. That's Fuji 400. That's Fuji 400. So a good lens on a camera, a nice clear, clean lens, decent film. Those are your two main things. You can get into better stuff like Pentaxes and Nikons and Canons and Minoltas and such, and Olympus. You can buy better cameras too, but I mean, just start off. Go buy a cheap 35mm camera and just go have fun. You know, you may end up with a stack like this of pictures that aren't great compared to a stack of your favorites that are, you know, substantially smaller, and even your okay shots are a wee bit smaller, but a little taller than your favorites, but not nearly this. But it's fun. It's old school, which is always cool. So I guess I really do got to come up with a creative ending. A friend of mine said I should do "So long and thanks for all the fish." So that's tonight's. So long. Thanks for all the fish.